It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. John for the Trucker John, sweet on a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. The Trucker John live stream is gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's heading south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch him out, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
Good morning. Oh boy, everything's a little off this morning. Okay, but it looks like we got the green screen. I'm not seeing any gaps. So if I don't move anything, don't touch anything, I think we'll be okay. All right, so I was just trying to wolf down a little bit of breakfast. Good morning, good morning. As you can see, I'm wearing my new spiffy Boston Brian t-shirt. I can see part of it, Blunt Politics. And there it is. I should just do the whole show like this. The vast improvement, I'm sure. But anyhow, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. We got 14 watching, 20 thumbs ups. Did 6 people leave already? Roxanne Armfield. Roxanne Armfield, I think you've got a little streak going there, being the first one in the chat. MJ Daniels here. Walter Makarovich is in the house, in the truck stop. Walter says, Trucker John, how do you like the new Truth Social post about creating a new Third Reich? I haven't seen it. I just heard it. I believe that Stephanie Miller, that was what she was just talking about, right? And I just was, as I was setting up, I was listening to Stephanie, and yeah, it sounds bizarre, but it doesn't sound surprising coming out of that camp. Hey, Mazel Tov, orange juice. I love me some orange juice in the morning. And I just drained it. I just drained that bad boy. But yeah, that's crazy, Walter. And if that doesn't tell MAGA and all the Trump supporters out there that, you know, Trump isn't just, you know, an Adolf Hitler wannabe, then I don't know what does. Gene E's here. Steve's here. Hello, Steve. Hello, Gene. 3 girls, 3 wheels. Hello. Good to see you. Gus is here. Hello, Gus. Good to see Gus. Gus says, I got laid last night. We'll go, hey, congratulations. Good on you. Let's see. Jolie's here. Hey, Jolie. Good to see Jolie. I hate to take Jolie away from, I know she's having a great time out there in Florida, so, thanks for being here. Doug G's here. Good to see Doug G. Carrie C. Hello, Carrie. Big Hook's here. The Mothman prophecy didn't come to fruition. I never did find the moth, by the way. So that means the moth is nesting somewhere or something in doing probably bad things. I don't know. But yeah, the moth. But here it is, 9:13 here in the Pacific time zone. It is 72 degrees, and we are expected a high of 85. So the temperatures have dropped down a little bit. We did hit, I believe we hit officially 100 degrees the other day, which was about a month earlier than we hit it last year. So just saying. It's going to be a hot one, folks. Strap in. I don't know what. Oh, there. I had the lid's on backwards. Everything's on backwards. Now you get to hear me slurp. And I know this is gonna be hot. That's why I have to slurp it, because it's very hot, and that cup keeps it hot. Anyhow, let's see. Yes, everyone's saying hi. So yeah, here we are. And if you guys saw the what do they call it? The show card, title card. Oh, it's not my title card, but the show card. It's got a picture of Trump and the Trumps and everything. It says they're just stupid. Thank God they're so stupid, because even though they're so stupid, they've done a lot of damage, and they damn near pulled off a coup. But Trump's going down. Trump is going to go down. He's going to get convicted of this trial he's in now. He's going to go to jail. He's going to lose this election. And he's going to lose every single court case that's coming up, which may not be until after the election on those other cases, but he's going to lose them all, and he's going to lose everything. Whether he does a whole lot of time, I don't know, but they're going to stick him in jail for some amount of time, even if it's just a week. And then they're going to put him on. They're going to slap an ankle bracelet on him, and they're going to make him stay in Mar-a-Lago or wherever, or Bedminster, probably Mar-a-Lago, I guess. And that's where he's going to live the rest of his days. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So therefore, it is. We will not stand for this. We are not going to stand for this little dictator wannabe Hitler. We will not stand for it. Walter McCaravich says, "You're right, Chugger John. But when does our Congress on the House floor and the Senate floor point this act out and do something about this?" I don't know. Like I said, I just was listening to a little bit of Stephanie, so I haven't really even seen it. So it's hard for me to make comments on it as to whether or not Congress should get involved. I don't know. Did they break a law? I don't know what they did, other than just be douchebags. And so what we got to do is make sure we vote, and we vote for Biden-Harris, and we vote blue down ticket. Get the Congress back, the House back, and we got to keep the Senate. There's a good chance we're going to lose West Virginia. As douchey as Joe Manchin was, the guy was a Democrat. He gave us that number, and in order for him to keep his seat, he had to be a douchey douche, because West Virginia apparently that's what they like. They like douchebags. So we're probably going to lose that seat since he's not running for re-election anymore. And I guess there hasn't been a Democrat running that's adequately douchey enough for the West Virginians. So we'll probably end up with a Republican over there. But hopefully we can keep Arizona with Gallegos taking. I think the Sinema seat, right? So if we can get Gallegos and keep keep Arizona, and then we've got to pick something up somewhere else. And that's gonna be tricky, but God damn it, people, stop voting for Republicans. I mean, you can see the Republican Party; they're the party of fucking Nazism now. So why would you vote for the Republicans? I know, it's all about perspective, point of view. A lot of these people have been brainwashed to think that the Democrats are commies and are going to destroy democracy. So that's their POV, man. For a lot of them, and a lot of them, it's just they're going to vote for Republicans no matter what, because they want zero taxes and they want zero regulations. So they don't really care who's in there. And they think that they're rich enough to be protected from a dictatorship. But that doesn't always work out, because, there's a lot of Russian oligarchs who've gotten gravity sickness and whatnot. So, be careful. Be careful who you choose. Who you think that dictator is going to be working for you or on your side or whatever, but you could end up in an exploding helicopter or something. Hey, let's see. Nick Rich is here. Did I say hi to Nick? Oh, like number 25 for Nick Rich. Good day. Good day, mate. That's not how Canadians talk. What am I doing? Let's see. Big Hook says, ironic that the West Virginia name is Justice and went from being a Democrat to a Republican. The West Virginia name is Justice and went from being a Democrat to a Republican? That is ironic, I guess. Let's see. Nick Rich, Republicans are shit. Put that on a coffee mug. That's a good idea, Rich. Nick. I don't know whether to call you 56 Nick Rich, or just Nick, or just Rich, or just 56. MJ Daniel says, weak, selfish people who need an authoritarian to tell them how to think and who to hate. There's that. I think studies have been done that show that Republicans more likely, they like to have that authoritarian figure. Big Hook, Jim Justice. Jim Justice. Hi, I'm Jim Justice. But I do think that it's not so much like for MAGA or whatever. It's not so much that they want this authoritarian. They think the authoritarian is going to be just, like on the same page as them, or that's they like that Trump is a racist. They like all that shit. So they don't care about democracy. They don't care about diversity. They don't care about this all-inclusiveness. They don't care about the melting pot. They don't care about people being able to, from all, there being a freedom of all religions and faiths and ethnicities and races and just all these, sexual orientations. They don't like that. They hate that shit. So they get a guy like Trump who talks shit about all these other things, and they love it. They just fucking fall in love with it. Because they're like, oh, glory be to God. We've finally got our leader who's going to make just all us white people the center of the universe, and everyone else will be subservient to us. Thank you, oh Lord. Trump is the answer to their prayers. Because they're sick. And they're demented. I'm talking about basically MAGA. Nick Rich says, you're the one that had the idea about the coffee mug merch, TJ. I did. I invented that idea. But I didn't have the idea about that slogan of Republicans are shit. That's all you, buddy. I'm giving you, buddy, credit for that one, buddy. That way if people complain, I'll go, hey, this was Nick Rich's idea, man. Blame him. Keith Polite is here. My Apple Watch warned me yesterday that the cicadas had hit 90 decibels. Those are some loud little cicadas, I tell you, by golly. That's loud. 90? That's pretty loud. Isn't that loud for a bunch of bugs? Now, it might not be rock concert loud, but still. MJ Daniel says they want a monolithic society where everything is safe, repetitive, and predictable, and everybody knows their place. It kind of sounds like a bar in Boston or something. No. Well, what they want I mean, I think everyone wants to have like safe places, a safe place where we feel that there's not going to be a bunch of always unpredictable surprises and things. I think we'd like to have some stability. I think we all like to have stability. You know, but I think we can do that without being racist, without being bigots, right? Big Hook says they have been fed bullshit. Big Hook's going blue with it today. For almost 50 years, and believe the Republicans that government can't do anything and billionaires should rule the world. The prosperity gospel BS. There's a lot of BS, certainly. Michael McAndrews, good afternoon, Roxanne, saying there to Roxanne. MJ Daniel, pretty loud. Yeah, that sounds loud. I'm rubbing my shoulder. I think I have a pinched nerve in my shoulder. I did the old, what do you call it, MD thing. And I was looking at all these different ailments or causes for a bad shoulder. So I came to the conclusion I either have a pinched nerve or a torn rotator cuff. And since I haven't pitched in a long time or done any type of that motion, I come to the conclusion I think I have a pinched nerve. Jolie says that she saw two Trump supporters in a restaurant, which is amazing. Trump shirts, Trump hats. I've very politely called them fascist as I was walking out. I was very nice about it. Jolie, be careful. You're playing with fire down there in Florida. But still, a part of me is like, yes, you go, girl. But another part of me is like, be careful, please. There's some fucking crazy fuckers down there. Hugger Greeter TK is here. Hello, I see Hugger Greeter. TK. Good to see you. Tim Farrell's here. It says hi, gang. Hello, Tim. Good to see Tim Farrell. Everyone's saying hello to Hugger Greeter and to Tim, etc. MJ Daniels says the Republicans seem to also need somebody to hate and to kick down on. Yeah, it's about, I might be poor as shit, but at least there's these people that are even poorer than me, and so that makes me feel better. Instead of like, hey, why don't we all, like, I think the Democrats are like, hey, a high tide raises all ships. What's good for you is good for me. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Let's try to get us all to raise up a little bit. And that's but a lot of the Republicans and the maggots are like, yeah, motherfucker, you stay down because when you're down, I'm up. They're just a bunch of sick bastards. They're a bunch of sick bastards, they are. I don't know why I kind of went into this kind of an Irish thing. I don't know. It's almost like I have multiple personalities and they're just trying to come out. I don't know. I don't know what's just going on with me. What is going on? Michael McAndrews says, 2 dumpy supporters walk into a bar, everyone else leaves. James Williams is here. He says, good morning, John, and to Hugger Greeter, miss seeing you on the House Sparks show. I was not on the House Sparks show. And I'm not Boston Brian. I do wear his shirts. I would love to be on the House Sparks show. Andrea. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, but I'm not I'm not kidding that I would like to be on a House Sparks show, but I'm not, I'm not that delusional. Tim Farrell, don't even play, girl. Nick Rich says, everyone in Hal's chat is worried about Teresa. Any luck with the tech issues? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Michael Ganders, I love listening to Hal, but I have to mute Dumpy when Dumpy Stump is speaking. Okay, I got a confession to make. Last night I watched that whole House Sparks show yesterday. Like, it was like 4 hours or more. And I gotta say, at the last part of that Trump deal, I was going crazy. I was literally going crazy. I could not wait. I was just going to shut it off, but I felt like I'm invested in this thing. I've been watching for like 4 hours. I got to stick it out. But I was literally, I was posting. If you saw my post, I was like, oh my God, when is this going to be done? Oh my God, I'm going to blow my brains out if this goes on any longer. I was just like, oh, I can't. I just can't. I'd had enough of it. And usually I stick through it. And I did stick through it, but I was literally like at wit's end last night. Trump would not shut the fuck up. That thing when he starts playing the music, it kept going on and on and on and on. I was like, oh my God, shut the fuck up and get the fuck out. And I'm saying this about Trump. And I got to believe I'm not the only one who thinks that way. And I also got to believe I'm not the only one, not just counting us. Of course, I'm sure there are a lot of us that are sick of that. But I got to believe that his following and followers are probably, and I'm back, saying the same thing, but they just won't say it out loud because they're such sycophants, but or whatever. But especially those front row Joes and those people that go from show to show to show, how do they fucking? I mean, I guess they're just so far in that they just love that shit. But my God, I was going crazy. I mean, I'm so through with that, and it's just the same shit over and over and over and over. Talk about brainwashing. I think that's how you brainwash someone. One of the ways. I'm not a professional brainwasher or hypnotist. I guess it kind of goes into hypnotism. But I think when you just keep repeating the same thing over and over and over, and you just wear people down, man. It was a bit much. It was a bit much last night. Hucker Greeter says, James Williams, I have a reason not being on House channel. No one can see me on that chat still. Yeah, we know. We're trying to figure it out. Jolie says, okay, gotta go. Our food is here. Have a great day, everyone. Miss you guys. Hey, no, you have a great time, Jolie, and please don't get in trouble down there. But yeah, have your food and have a good time. And on our way out, Jolie's reminding everybody about we got the channel memberships and the super chats, and you can support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing, or buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/JRFowler. I don't know. Anyhow, hopefully that link will work. But yeah, have a good time, Jolie. Apparently getting some food. James Williams, I see you in the comment sections, John. Did you see me going crazy last night? About the 4 hour mark? Especially? Tim Farrell says, I'd love to see Raskin, Goldman, Moskowitz wear fake eyelashes to Congress. That would be hilarious, Tim. That would be so hilarious. And just get in Margie's face and be blinking, hello, Marge. Notice anything different about me today? Bing, bing, bing. Keith Police says, I listened to Boston Brian on Sunday for the first time. He's wicked awesome. There you go, putting a little bit of Bostonian talk in there. Roxanne says that's a great idea, Tim. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good idea. Pretty funny. Walter Makarovich, Hal Sparks and Texas Paul on a live podcast is a winner in our country. It was good. Texas Paul is great. Hal's getting some great guests now. You know, he gets Texas Paul on there, Boston Brian. He had was it Cliff Schechner or whatever. You know, that guy's good. Bill Cook says that the dystopian depressing with somber music for brainwashing purposes is for the most bad ones to take up arms on his. Yes, I agree. There's that element. You can see he's gearing up for violence. He is trying to stoke violence again. And that's just going to stop. Because as we get closer and closer to the election, and as he's losing these court cases, he's getting more and more desperate. And he knows he can't win at the ballot box. So we're going to be seeing more and more of this coming out of his mouth, out of that fucking pie hole of his. We're going to be seeing more and more of it becoming less and less subtle and more direct, of this call to violence and call to arms. And then Matt Gaetz the other day puts out a tweet or whatever, echoing that old stand by and standing back and the thing. So they don't give a fuck how many people get hurt as long as they get in power and stay in power. These Republicans are not Americans. They are Nazis. They are traitors. They are Nazis. Just remember that when you go to the ballot box, people. And I know most of you in here, will remember that. And you don't. I think most of you don't vote for Republicans. I would take a gamble and say that probably the vast, overwhelming majority of people in this chat do not vote for Republicans. Now, I'm not saying that you've never voted Republicans, and I'm not saying that I know who you're voting for. Far be it from me. But I'm just saying, if I had to hazard a guess, I would say most of the people in this chat don't vote for Republicans, or at least aren't going to this time around. But we gotta stop them at the ballot box. So that means voting blue, right? For the U.S. People here in the chat, I realize we got people from all over the world that are in this chat. So some of you don't even vote here. But if you did live here and you could vote here, I would really hope that you would vote for Democrats. Let's see. It says, Tim Farrell says, Cliff Schecter is replacing Tara Dublin on Hal's show. He said he was going to be on every Monday. Cliff is great, but I know some really like Tara. Anyone know? Well, I don't know. Maybe they'll do, how he does 1 hour with one guest and 1 hour with the other guest. Like this Monday, he had Cliff and Texas Paul. I don't know. I don't think he even mentioned anything about Tara. So at this point, it's all speculation. I don't know if Tara was just busy this week, had something else going on, so I don't know if anything is permanent. I mean, I know they want to get Cliff every Monday. Maybe Tara's going to go to a different day. I don't know who. At this point, like I said, it's all speculation. So unless Andrea comes in and chimes in, Andrea would know. But yeah, I don't know, Tim. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see. Seha's here. Trucker John. If you're going to go big, have all the Dems in Congress dressed in drag and read Green Eggs and Ham. That would be more of a Ted Cruz thing there. Roxanne Armfield says, Trump isn't capable of creating new ideas for his stump speech. It's just the same one over and over and over and over and over again. He's wearing me down. Walter Makarovich says, hey, Trucker John, did you get the new country song I sent you about Farty Mage? No, I did not. I haven't seen it. Where did you send it to? Because I have not seen that. Hugger Greeter says, you are correct, Trucker John. I do not vote Republican, but sadly my two sisters do. Yeah. Big Hook. The Phil Ittner podcast was powerful about the kidnapping of the Ukrainian children for ethnic genocide. Oh, you know what? Big Hook, thank you for reminding me. I haven't seen that yet. I saw the very first one where he was talking about, the shows coming on. It was just sort of his little precursor type of thing. But the episode that he's been teasing, I haven't seen that yet. So I need to check that out. And I urge and suggest everyone go to Philip Ittner. It's Philip Ittner, I believe. I don't know the exact thing, but if you guys know how to search, you can search Philip Ittner. You can get to his YouTube channel. He's got a new show. I think it's called The Edge. And the guy's awesome. He's been in Ukraine since the beginning of this war. And he's trying to get the message out of what's going on over there. So go to his channel, not right now, but when we're done here. Go check him out. Like, subscribe, and share the Philip Ittner Show. He's doing God's work. He's trying to get the message out. There's a war over there, folks. And Ukrainians aren't this Nazi-loving country. And they didn't pose any threat to Russia. Russia was unprovoked in their invasion of Ukraine. So check out the Philip Ittner deal. He's a great guy. He has a great show. He's been doing some great things. But do it after we're done here. Mad Max here. Hey, mate. And Slava Ukraini to Mad Mac. Speaking of Ukraine, here comes Mad Mac now. Nick Rich says, I recall the first time I saw my name highlighted in live chat, it was from someone named at Teresa K-Tac a few years back during COVID. Well, look at there. All those memories. Tim Farrell says, U.S. President is considered the leader of the free world. Leader of the free world. I'm a citizen of the free world. There you go. Sorry, excuse all this nastiness, but, I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting a little bit of cold or what, but I've been sneezing a lot lately for some reason. Mad Mac, basic glory to Ukraine. Slava Ukraini. Walter Makarovich says Tennessee Brando put out a killer song about MTG. I heard that. I was watching. Was it Texas Paul? I was watching something, and I think somebody played it. I did see it. Walter Makarovich. It's over 1 million views. Wow, that's a lot of views. Big Hook says Jordan Klepper had a great 30-minute piece on Russian tools last night. Do they make good tools like wrenches and stuff? Just kidding. On YouTube, and Jon Stewart was spot on that the Republicans are the actual cancel culture fiends. It kind of reminds me, last night I was driving around Vegas a little bit, doing a little bit of Ubering, and who's that ventriloquist guy, Jeff Dunham? And, the guy totally caters to right-wingers, right? He always has his puppets or these sort of stereotypical Arabs or whatever. And he's always, he very much caters to the right-wingers, but just probably just goes up to the line so that he can't be labeled or like a racist or whatever. And I remember listening to a Mark Maron interview with Dunham a few years ago, and he tries to present himself as, oh, I'm not a racist, I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat, I'm just, I don't do any of that. But then last night, Jeff Dunham, or whatever his name is, he's performing somewhere here in town, and the name of his show is Canceled. So, okay, he uses these right-wing kind of terms. So don't tell me that you're not catering to that crowd, Jeff Dunham. Don't you tell me that. Sorry for the slurping, by the way. So hey, it's kind of a mellow morning today. I'm just kind of being mellow, kind of just sort of mellowed out. I feel like I'm kind of mellowed this morning. But I want to thank everybody for being here. Now, the title of this show is supposed to be Tuesday Talk with Trucker John, but I'm seeing it says live streaming with Trucker John. I'm not going to do that little preview thing anymore, where it says like upcoming, because it never gets it changes my title, and it doesn't do what I wanted to do. So I don't think I'm going to do that little preview thing anymore. From now on, we're just going to pop in. So that's why you got to keep your notification thing on, and you got to be ready to go. Real Bill P says, hey, Trucker John and friends. Hey, Real Bill P, good to see you. Real Bill P is here. We got 23 watching, 36 thumbs ups. Make sure you guys hit the like button and the share button. Share the show out, so we can get more folks in for this titillating conversation. Big Hook says Tim Allen is about the only funny Republican left. I remember listening to the Mark Maron Tim Allen interview a few years ago too, and Tim Allen seems like I've liked Tim Allen's work. I've liked his shows. I liked his movies. I think he's a funny guy. He's always seemed like a good guy, and in the interview, he seems like a really good guy. But then he says he's a Republican, and the reason he says he's a Republican is because he doesn't want to pay. He doesn't want to pay his taxes. He doesn't want to pay high taxes or some bullshit. It always comes down to taxes. If you're not, apparently, I guess if you're not racist and a misogynist, then it always comes down to taxes, doesn't it? As being the reason for being it. So you're willing to sell out, basically sell your soul, to be a part of a party that takes away women's rights of bodily autonomy, that wants to strip back civil rights laws, that wants to strip back voting laws, that wants to strip back child labor laws, for Christ's sakes. But as long as you get your lower taxes, then that's all that matters. So to you, Tim Allen, I say, fuck you. I've liked your work. I've always thought you were a really good guy, but you know what? Fuck you, Tim Allen. Roxanne Armfield says, I don't think Tim Allen is that funny anymore. And yeah, as he's gotten older and his right-wingy-isms come out more and more, or he thinks that that's his sort of his wheelhouse or whatever. Yeah, he's gotten less and less funny. Real Bill P says, the only thing that has ever left a red state is a Democrat headed home. Okay. Michael McAndrews, ever since Waco, Republican went off the cliff. I think ever since fucking Reagan, at least. Roxanne, yep, Big Hook, that's the problem. Oh, did I miss Big Hook's problem? Oh, they punch down rather than up at the oppressors. Yeah. Nick Rich says, being woke ain't a joke. Equal rights include equal taxation. I wanted another rhyme. Being woke ain't a joke. Equal rights is what I fights for. Equal rights is brights. Come on, we didn't rhyme, Nick. Being woke ain't a joke. Equal rights gives the white ringers the frights. No. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just spitballing. Big Hook says, Republican is a selfish label with bullshit beliefs. Wow, Big Hook just coming out. Just throwing some haymakers there, man. Michael McAndrews says, the Nazis want everybody to go to sleep now. You must go to sleep. The nice little Nazis. James Williams, it isn't even about staying in power. It's about staying out of prison for most of them. Yeah. And in order to stay out of prison, they must have the power. They're going down. I think the whole Trump family's going down. Tim Farrell says, I could always tolerate Republicans before Trump. Not anymore. That's true. I mean, just looking at my own situation with my own family, my brother and sister have always been like right-wingers, and I've always been the liberal, I guess you'd say. I've always voted for Democrats. They've always voted for Republicans. But we were able to go to Thanksgiving dinner together. We were able to spend time together and do things, and 4th of July and all that kind of stuff. And until 2016, we have not spoken since 2016. So that's Tim Farrell. Your point is well taken, and that is very illustrative of what I just said. Nick Rich says equal rights is what is right. Don't be scared of any fight. There you go, Nick. It's flowing. Poetry is just flowing from you now. You have a natural talent, my man. Michael McAndrews, I didn't know nothing and accidentally voted for Reagan. I'm sorry. Well, Michael, I'll forgive you. As long as you told me that you learned your lesson and that you voted for Clinton and Obama, and Al Gore, of course, and Obama, and Hillary, and Biden. Big Hook says the reason Scandinavian countries are the happiest is because with proper taxation, everyone has everything they need, and as a result, very little crime. You can be rich, but not at the expense of others. And I agree with that assessment, Big Hook. I do agree with that. You look at Norway and all these Scandinavian places, and they have high taxes, but they also have free college, free. I think tech schools, whatever they have free. They have, great arts programs. And I'm assuming they have a great kind of low income housing programs or whatever, so there aren't homeless people. We could use a little of that. MJ Daniels says, in the last 30 years or so, the GOP has become steadily worse. And I would even go, like I said, I would even go further back than 30 years. I would go back all the way to 1980 when Reagan won the election. Michael McAndrews, I'm a Democrat. Well, so am I. And I'm glad you're a Democrat. So like I said, I'll forgive you. I voted for Jimmy Carter. I'm very proud to say in 1980, that was my first election that I could vote in or whatever. And I voted for Jimmy Carter. I liked Jimmy Carter, and I didn't really understand the appeal of Ronald Reagan. I never got it. I never have, and I still to this day I haven't gotten it. Of why so many people voted for Reagan, I don't know, and why they, put down Carter so much. I thought Jimmy Carter was a great man, even back then as a 18-year-old, or by the time I voted in 1980. I just turned 20, I think, actually. So I was a 20-year-old. But even, prior to that, when I was still a teenager and Carter was president, I thought he was a great president. And I always thought Reagan was a clown. I guess because, Reagan was the governor of California, so I was familiar with Reagan. I thought he was a clown then. I remember when he ran in 76 he was running. But he was one of the early dropouts of the race. And I remember hearing a news report. This is somewhere for that 76 campaign, but so it might have been 75, or it might have been in 76, early in 76 or something. And they announced that Ronald Reagan was dropping out of the presidential race. We were in a car. Me and my parents were driving around. It was up in the mountains. I can remember now. And I remember just when I heard that, I just was like, I just said, Ronald Reagan's such a clown, And my mom heard me say it, and then she looks over to my dad and she goes, "Did you hear what John just said?" And he's like, "What?" He says Ronald Reagan's a clown, and then they both kind of laughed. They thought that was funny, but so here I am. My point is, I guess as a 15 or 16-year-old. I didn't like him. I didn't like Reagan. So in 1980 rolls around and Reagan's running for president and he's becoming the Republican nominee. I was not on board with that. I didn't get fooled by it. I was already a Reagan. I don't know if hater is the right word, but I was never it wasn't even a thought for me as far as who I was going to vote for. I already knew that, I was voting for Carter. Nick Rich says, filters help with being funny. Purple beards are kind of sunny. Oh boy, Nick Rich, you're just rolling it out now, aren't you, with the rhymes? MJ Daniel says, well, I voted for Reagan once when I just turned 18. I never did so again. Well, there's a lot of people that say that. Even Randy Rhoads says that, that she voted for Reagan. But hey, who am I to say? Who am I to judge? Hey, we all make mistakes, right? Hopefully we learn from them, we grow, we become better human beings. It's a lesson learned, right? So I'm not passing any judgment. Trucker John's not passing any judgment on you, and certainly Purple Beard Guy's not going to do that. Hey, we all make mistakes, and look, if you hadn't made that mistake then, what mistake would you have made later? If you hadn't had that one to make. So it's all bridge under the water. Reverse that. It's all water under the bridge. But hey, it happens. It just happens. And we move on. Yeah, right. It happens. Come on. You guys voted for Reagan? You kidding me? The guy was a joke. The guy was a clown. Jimmy Carter was a great man. I don't forgive you. I will never forgive you. Calm down, tough cookie. Come on now. What did I just say? We learn from our mistakes. Everyone makes them. Don't be so judgmental. That's all I'm saying. Judgmental schmudgmental. Just know this, Ronald Reagan was a piece of shit too, just like Trump is. Don't be fooled. All right, guys. Settle down. Well, thank you, Purple Beard Guy, at least. Tough Cookie, I don't know what his fucking problem is. He's probably, Tough Cookie, well, I don't know. I was going to say he's probably a Republican, but Tough Cookie doesn't like Republicans either, so. I don't know about those guys. Roxanne says, unfortunately, when one lives in a red state, we have to tolerate them. Oh, wait. Tim Farrell. About tolerating Republicans or something. I could not always tolerate Republicans before Trump, not anymore. Yeah, okay, so I already talked about that. James, when he says Phil Bittner, I think we mean Philip Ittner, is a serious journalist. I watched his show, and he has a message Americans need to hear. Yes, he's great. I urge everyone, after you watch today's Trucker John show, to go check out Philip Ittner. MJ Daniel says, healthcare that will not bankrupt you. Yes, that's an important issue. Tim Farrell, it is frustrating because a lot of Republicans I know won't say why they support the Republican Party. When I ask them, their silence speaks volumes. Inside they know. They feel the shame. Roxanne says, yes, Trucker John, it did start with Reagan. May he rot in hell. There you go, Roxanne. That's what I like to hear. That's a little bit more like it. You know, I'm with you on that one there. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely, Roxanne. I hope that bastard is rotting in hell right next to Hitler and Rush Limbaugh. They're getting really sharp, pointy pine cones stuck up their ass every 15 seconds because that's what they deserve. Okay, so Tough Cookie, you always got to take it just a little too far, you know? I mean, I was right up there with you, but well, you know what? Actually, I agree with you. Tough Cookie. Big Cook says, they are an example of self-sustaining society. Government can do wonderful things when properly funded, and good people elect good people. Scandinavian people seem to be critical thinkers. Mike McAndrew says, Jimmy Carter was great. I didn't know what my dad recommended. I vote for Reagan. The first time I voted, I voted. Well, hey, don't beat yourself up about it. I mean, it's a long time ago. And like you said, you're a Democrat and you learned your lesson. So that's the main thing. But Michael McAndrew says, living in Texas, there was a lot of right-wing propaganda going on. Example, Rush Limbaugh, who I just mentioned. Tim Nelson here. Good morning to you, Tim Nelson. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping on by. Hope you like, subscribe, and share. We're up to 1,750 subs, so that's pretty cool. That's more than the last show. So we're growing little by little. Big Hook says, sad that under the oil crisis, along with Reagan telling the Ayatollah to hang on to hostages, Americans took the dark turn to where we are now. Republicans are selfish, delusional assholes. Don't hold back, Big Hook. But yeah, I agree with most of that there, or probably, I guess all of that. I think I agree with all of that. MJ Daniels says, when all of this started in 2015-16 with DJT, I ended up having to block 4 people I knew for some time from Facebook. I do not tolerate this toxic behavior. Yeah, I understand, and I'm not really one who blocks a lot of people, but I think I ended up blocking a couple of people. And basically, not because they have a different opinion. I don't care if you have different opinions or whatever, but there's 2 people that I blocked because they become, it's like they're harassing you. It's like, I felt like I was being stalked. I felt like every one of my, because I have Facebook and X and of course YouTube and Instagram, just whatever comes up, I have it. And then they are all on those things, and they were just constantly barrage me with like, almost like manifestos that they would write, and then expect me to respond point by point to literally these kind of pages long bullshit things that they would write and send to me, and then they expect, and then if I didn't answer them, they were like, oh, why don't you answer? You got nothing to say? And I'm like, look, dude, I don't have time. It took me long enough just to read the goddamn thing, and then I'm supposed to give you some point rebuttal to all your fucking horse shit. So eventually I just blocked them because they were just inundating me with their fucking horse shit. And one of them was my cousin Dan, who was like a brother to me. So I feel bad about that, but he was literally, I felt like he was stalking me. And another one was an old high school buddy of mine who was a good, I think he's a good guy, but he just fucking doesn't know when to shut up, or he doesn't know when to just say, make his point and then just leave it there. But instead they just hound you, because it's like, oh, you got nothing to say, you got nothing to say. I'm like, dude, I don't fucking have time for your shit. If you can't make something, if you can't just give me some short little pithy thing in one or two sentences, then I'm fucking tuning out. I'm not gonna read paragraph after paragraph. Literally, these guys just send these things to me that were like scrolling down, and it would be pages and like pages of shit, and it was all just horse shit. A lot of it was just word salad, and they're expecting me to respond to this bullshit. I'm like, fuck you. So so there's that. James Williams says it started with Nixon. Yeah, we can go back even further than Reagan, that's for sure. The Republicans that promoted the Southern strategy just hired Reagan as the actor that appealed to the TV crowd. The race to the bottom has ruled ever since. Absolutely, James. Good point. Yeah, Nixon, the Southern strategy, all that stuff. Mad Mac, I like Sparkly TJ. That's purple beard guy. MJ Daniel says, ended up that is, I still have stuff I block show up on Facebook a lot still. There is a lot of trolling, probably mostly from Russia. Oh yeah, they got those Russian bot thingies. Bob LeBlanc, I've never done X. Michael McAndrews, I've never blocked anyone. I am new to chatting. I'm not sure how to do it. I ignore stalkers and Nazis. Oh, there's just the thing. You just push the thing and then you can block people. Hey, Jackie says, hi, Trucker John. I have no problem blocking anyone. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't really like blocking, friends and family, but my cousin was just to the point. I even told him, I go, dude, I feel like you're stalking me. Just fucking leave me alone, And he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't stop barraging me at every social platform I'm on with just literally, like I said, just 100,000 word things, Bob LeBlanc is here. Bob LeBlanc says, YouTube is as social as I've ever gotten. Hi, all you bastards. Great to be here with T Cookie. Hey, Bob LeBlanc, good to see you. I'm glad you're here. I actually, YouTube is like my favorite. And I've been on it for quite a while. And I think of all the platforms, YouTube is my favorite. Nick Rich says, I joined Facebook last year. Very, very disappointed. People change, more assholes than I expected. You're a little late to the game, Nick. I've been on ever or in the aughts, like 2008 or something like that. So I've seen all the changes. It has gone through a lot of changes. MJ Daniel says, yes, Republicans understood cult of personality early on. Big Hook says, you can have a different opinion, but when you have no evidence backing up your opinion and it hurts more people than it helps, it makes it evident that you have sociopathic tendencies. Roxanne Arfield says, we have to face it, politics is a dirty business. It is, and I also think that all things are political. So I guess everything's dirty. It's all dirty business. Michael McAndrews, Republicans don't like us Americans. And I was kind of thinking that too the other day, Michael, about how people like to fly the Confederate flag, but they also like to call themselves Americans. And to me, how can you be a supporter of the Confederacy and also call yourself an American? The Confederacy was basically anti-American, anti-US, literally went to a war, an actual real shooting war. So I don't know how you could be both a Confederate and a United States of America American. It's really an oxymoron. That this doesn't make sense. But people seem to think that you can be a Confederate and a American at the same time, and I don't think you can. It doesn't work that way. You know? James Williams says, I worked beside President Carter on 2 Habitat for Humanity homes. Both him and his wife were wonderful representatives of what America could be. James Williams, that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome that you were able to do that. Yeah, Jimmy Carter and Rosalind, great people, man. Just great, awesome, beautiful people. MJ Daniel says, I am on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. No need for anything else. MJ Daniel, psychotic. Tim Farrell, I am going to use that at Big Hook, if that is okay. Yeah, that was a good one. Big Hook says, failings of the American education system along with right-wing radio and TV saturation have hurt the American identity. It certainly has propped up the Republican Party and has gotten a lot of people through that saturation that you speak of. It did change a lot of people to the worse, unfortunately. That's why we need to battle back, and we need to fight the propaganda with truth. MJ Daniel says, the Confederacy drafted its own constitution that had nothing to do with the USA. They wanted to be their own nation. Exactly, that's what I was saying. So how can you be a person that flies a Confederate flag, like the rebel battle flag, and also try to say that you love America? The two are antithetical. You know what I mean? You can't be both a Confederate and a, USA American, and such as, the two, they can't coexist. You can't be both. There are some things where you can be both, I think. In some instances, of course, I'm not going to give you an example because I can't think of it. But there are things where you could be both. You could be multiple of things, I think. But you cannot be a supporter or lover of the Confederacy and also say you love America, the United States of America. They are diametrically opposed to one another. Big Hook says, you're more than welcome to use it. Yeah, use it, man. But I think that people are just going all in. People are going all in on certain things, and they don't even know what it is they're going all in on. MJ Daniel says, you also cannot carry the Nazi flag or dress as a fascist. Those are the enemies of America. Exactly. Also, I was thinking of that too, about being Nazis. You can't be a Nazi here in America and then also say that you love America. Because America, the United States of America, is not about Nazism. It's the exact opposite. They are diametrically opposed. And the only reason you're able to espouse that bullshit is because of the freedoms we have in this country, the United States of America. It's because of our Bill of Rights that assholes like these Nazis can even roam around freely without fear of getting locked up or whatever. Oh shit, what did I just do? Oh shit, I had to play, didn't I? I had to mess with it. Okay. I don't know, it just seemed like the thing was sinking. One of these days I'll have a good setup in here. Now it feels like it's all crooked. I don't know, I better not touch it. Don't touch it, John. But yeah, so these assholes like these Nazis and these other groups that are very, really anti-American, anti-constitutional. They want to say that they're constitutional. Who's the other day? Someone was saying that they're. It was one of our trolls, one of the trolls that scared away Ichabod Deer because I didn't boot him, but because I was having. I found it interesting to listen to their point of view. But anyhow. What was I saying about the troll? I was talking about something. I don't know, but yeah, because I was saying like how they don't like to say that we're a democracy, and they always say we're a republic. And then I said we are a democratic republic, and then the troll came back with something like constitutional republic. Okay. Yeah. The Constitution is the foundation of our country. That's for sure. So, because of that, I guess we got to put up with assholes that are flying, Confederate battle flags and that are wearing the Nazi garb and having their Nazi parties. But you can't say that you're a Nazi or Confederate or any of these other type of hate groups. Especially these. These white supremacist hate groups, and say that you are an American, because that's not what America is about. And I don't give a fuck that, yeah, a lot of our founding fathers were slave owners and all this kind of stuff. There were many that were against slavery. And it took a Civil War to finally get rid of it. But my vision of America isn't one of white supremacy. It's not about authoritarianism. It's not about having a dictator. It is about diversity. It's about the melting pot. And it's about everyone having a fair shot, a fair chance to better themselves and to live a good life. Everyone, not just white people. Everybody. MJ Daniel says you cannot carry the Nazi flag or dress. Oh, I read that one. Yeah. Tim Farrell says Republicans know their base is largely lacking education and they manipulate them. Michael McAndrew says, "Dang, Big Hook, you are right on today." Yeah, Big Hook's on a roll. I would like to say. Looks fine. Yeah, I almost knocked the whole thing over. Hopefully, we're not crooked. I was trying to kind of readjust it so you can see my Boston Bryan shirt. That's okay. I'm going to give one more shot here and hopefully not knock over anything. Oh, now that probably. Yeah, see, that's too much. But anyhow, we can get one shot here. I got the Boston Bryan shirt on. And then you can see, for some reason, is it over here? Where is it? Yeah, over there. I need more green screen. I just need to extend my green screen, and then it'll be fine. This would be a fine... Actually, if I could just tilt this back just a teensy-weensy. Well, let's see. How's that do? See, now that's too far up. I think. I'm trying to find the sweet spot. But I could toy with it all day. Let's see, that's gonna be too low now, watch. Now we're gonna get, maybe not. That might be just about right. That way you don't see any of the green screen missing. You get the blunt politics part. Oh, but if I look at my iPad, you do see, you do see the green screen missing over there. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know. The only thing I could do, let's see, is I could sit in the corner. I think I tried doing this last time and I almost knocked everything over. Yeah, see, it's just, if it's not one thing, it's another, you know? It's just, I don't know. Let me just tilt this back a little bit. Oh shit, now I went too far that way, I think. Let's see, how's that? See, now I think it's too far up. Let's see. I think now I'm too far on the bottom. Okay, one last shot at it. Let's try that. How's that? Is that a little bit better? That might be a little bit better. I don't know. I don't know. But let's see. Did I save any memes? Let's see. What do I have meme-wise? For some reason, it seems like I didn't save anything new, did I? For some reason. I forgot to put stuff on here. So I really don't have anything new. I don't think. Nothing really new. I guess we could put President Biden up here. I like presidents who understand science, math, leadership, decency, empathy, honesty, service, kindness, diversity, humanity, friendship, equality, and love. And I think that pretty well describes Joe Biden. And I think that you could use that. You could put Jimmy Carter in that, for sure. You know, I think Jimmy Carter would fit all those. Probably Obama too. Probably Clinton too. You know, I just got a little upset with Clinton because the guy couldn't keep his dick in his pants. But other than that, I think Clinton was pretty good. But yeah, so there. Well, we'll put that up. You can't say, like, let's go. Like Donald Trump, he doesn't know anything about science. He barely could probably add anything together. His idea of leadership is just being a bully, right? He has no decency. He's disgusting. He has no empathy. The man's a sociopath. He has no empathy. Honesty. Trump has, of course, it's famously been reported that the documented lies, over 32,000 lies, I think it was, when he was president. The guy, I'm sure everything that comes out of his mouth just about is a lie. He's probably actually lied millions of times. So Trump is not honest. Service. I don't know what service Trump has ever, performed. He's not kind. He's rude. He's always calling people names, and he thinks it's funny or something. Diversity, famously or infamously, was found to be discriminating against black people when they were renting their apartments and stuff. The man doesn't believe in diversity, humanity. Again, there's no sympathy or empathy. There's no understanding. He's completely a sociopath. A friendship, I don't think the guy has any friends. He has hanger-ons. He has sycophants. He probably doesn't even have any friends because he's such a habitual lying sack of shit. Who wants to be a friend with that? But he has money, so he has people that want to use him for the money and see if they can get some of his money, maybe. Equality. He doesn't give a shit about equality. All he cares about is himself. And love, I don't think he knows what love is, because he wasn't loved as a child. We're talking about Trump here, right? Amy Rents, a flag is not heritage. Michael McAndrews, seems the right wing will misuse anything and everything. James Williams says, it almost seems like right wing radio and internet media crap assassinated the American identity. It sent out a message to all the haters and to all the racists that, hey, there's a place I can go to. Hey, look at there, Nick Rich, with the super, I guess that's a super chat, $1. Thank you so much, Nick. That's cool. That's awesome. I'm going to give that one a thumbs up. And I guess you can do a heart too. Let's see what happens. Or look at there. Thank you, Nick Rich. That's beautiful. Nick Rich, things are quiet. Yeah, it is a little quiet today. I just heard someone, I think I heard maintenance knocking on someone's door. They did apparently get the water leak problem fixed. They never did have to come into my unit. I think they found it in one of the other units. So they didn't have to come over here. Roxanne, you are okay, John. Quit fiddling. I know, I'm going to end up knocking the whole thing off if I keep messing around with it. Michael McAndrews, Dumpy Stump still stinking up the place. So yeah, I guess it's okay. Roxanne says, I don't believe that Trump got good grades at Wharton Business School. Did he actually graduate? Probably didn't even attend. He probably, they were able to probably just buy his C average or something. I don't know. Michael McAndrews probably cheated. Yeah, he probably either had other people do tests for him or something. I wouldn't doubt any of that. Keith Polite says, I blame Rush Limbaugh for poisoning millions. Yes, Rush Limbaugh. That's why in my little hell scenario with Ronald Reagan, I put Rush Limbaugh in there. I put Rush Limbaugh right in there with Reagan and Hitler. So that should show you what I think of Rush Limbaugh. Big Hook said, RFK Jr. reminds me of someone wanting to reinvent the wheel and use words and reputation from the family to his benefit, but has no policies. Drunk who wants the keys to the car. RFK reminds me of someone who has had part of their brain eaten by worms. I don't know. The guy's a fucking basket case. Apparently he was a heroin addict or something. And I don't know if it's because of the heroin or whatever, but whatever he did, that's what affected his voice. Made his voice all weird and shaky. And so the guy's got issues. he's not of right mind. So, but hey, as long as he's taking away more Trump votes than Biden votes, then hey, more power to him. Big Hook says Mary Trump says someone else wrote his exams. I don't doubt it one bit. I do not doubt it one bit. Michael McAndrew says figures and says Bone Spurs fraud. Fuck. Yeah, big tough guy with his bone spurs, so he could get out of serving. Although I wonder if I would have gone to Vietnam, because I was always, the Vietnam War had been raging really pretty much for my entire life. At least is when I could like remember things. Because I was born in 1960, and we already had some, I guess, advisors in Vietnam. I think when Kennedy was president, but they were probably they weren't actively. I don't think we had active like combat troops, but I think we did have our U.S. military there to help with the. And I always forget we were on the South Vietnamese side, right? But see, that's the thing. A lot of us don't even understand that damn war. But and then of course, by the time I was 5 or 6, and I could at least have some memory of those times, Kennedy was already dead and Johnson was president, and we were full bore into the war. And of course, by the late 60s, I mean, we were Tet offensive and we were just balls of the wall. And then by the time we get into the 70s and Nixon is the president still, and I'm turning 12, turning 13, we're still in the war. And I'm thinking, I'm going to get drafted in a few years. Because this war is going to still go. It's still going to be going. It's never going to end. And I was seriously thinking about if I should just be a draft dodger and move to Canada or something. So I guess I can't really be too critical of Trump about the Bone Spurs thing, maybe. But I have a feeling that I wouldn't have done that, and I probably would have got drafted or whatever. But fortunately, the war did end. And the fall of Saigon and all that was, 73, I guess? And I was going on 13, so... but I just did not want to go to this war. I just felt like it was just... like, we didn't have to be there. We didn't have to fight their war, But... And so we have 50,000 plus, killed, and think of all the hundreds of thousands wounded. And I guess nowadays what we do is we send arms. We don't send the troops. We send them arms, like in Ukraine, so it's different. And I don't mind doing that. Michael McAndrews, Vietnam was tough on all our brothers. We lost a lot of older brothers. Yeah, it was just horrible. And like I say, I think a lot of us, we didn't really know what was going on, like we knew it was a civil war type of a thing. And I think a lot of us think of our own civil war and how we had North and South fighting against each other. Vietnam had North and South Vietnam fighting against each other. I just think most of us thought, why are we fighting for their cause? Why are we dying for them? They should be They should have they should be doing it. They should be doing the dying. If they need help with weapons, well, we can send them weapons. But I don't think we didn't really feel like we should have our troops out there, being killed. Roxanne says, John, the voice thing is family genetic issue, but RFK Jr. is still batshit crazy. Well, you know what? I noticed that, because there was this ad, there's this ad about the Kennedy family, not saying that they don't support him for president. And one of his, I don't know if it's his sister or one of the Kennedy ladies, she has this shaky voice. And I'm just going, my God, did all the Kennedys talk that way? Because then there's been other Kennedys through the years. They all have that fucking thing, man. And I'm not ashamed to say fucking thing, because they kind of bug me. I like JFK and I like RFK Sr., but they got weird voices. Big Hook says Mary Trump is writing another book under contract. Otherwise, she would be more publicly available. Michael McAndrews, I loved hearing from Mary Trump. Keith Polite says, I was born in late 58. You and I are part of Generation Jones, tail end of boomers and early Gen X. Oh, I've never heard it called Generation Jones, because I've always felt like not really being a boomer, even though technically I'm, the very tail end of the boomers. But I never felt like I was a true boomer. So that kind of helps. Yeah, I have Generation Jones, tail end of boomers, early Gen X. Because I've always felt like I related more to Gen X than to the boomers. But so yeah, that's interesting. Mad Max says RFK seems like someone with brainworm. Oh wait. Michael McAndrews, born in 57. Mad Mac, good year for Chevy. 57 Chevy is a great car. Michael McAndrews, I went to volunteer and that week the war ended. Wow. Wow, Michael. You literally dodged a bullet. Michael McAndrews, I never served, but I wish I had. James Williams, I was born in 56. Michael McAndrews, good old 57 Chevy. I love the 57 Chevys. It's one of my favorite vehicles of all time. Michael McAndrews, you are old, James. Michael says, you too, Nick. We're all old. We're all a bunch of old guys in here. Guys and gals. James Williams says, I have outlived the elm trees that used to line my street. That's old when you can outlive elm trees. I gotta say. Michael McAndrews, I felt I was the tail end of the boomers. Well, and you were in 57, right? And you felt, and I was in 60, so you can just imagine how I really felt like the tail end of the boomers. Big Hook says LBJ was ending it when Nixon interfered. Yes, made it another 6 years and another 50,000 dead. Well, I don't know if it was another 50,000. 50,000 was about the total for the whole thing. It was in the 50s, right? Republicans are fucking evil bastards who play dirty politics and mind games for personal benefit. Yeah, Nixon. We've all heard the Tom Hartman play the phone call with Nixon's people, or talking to Vietnam people and making those deals, or maybe the phone call was LBJ talking to his I don't know if it was AG or whoever it was, but saying like, what can we do? We can't do anything or whatever. So yeah, that was like the precursor to Iran-Contra in a way. Just dirty politics, and it cost us, like you say, not another 50,000, but tens of thousands more lives on our side, and millions if you go to Vietnam and to the surrounding countries there, the killing fields, millions of people. Keith Lee, Google Generation Jones, it'll make total sense. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I've never heard that term before, but I will check it out. Nick Rich says, I was 8 years old when Gen X began. So that means you were Gen X, I think. Roxanne Arfield, yes, Big Hook, Big Hook. The good Republican was Dwight Eisenhower. Probably the last good one, right? Or maybe the only good one. I don't know. James Williams, I remember JFK Jr. saluting his father on TV. Yes. I remember, but in retrospect, because I was only 3, I believe, when JFK was murdered, assassinated. But that footage was almost like on a loop. That whole thing, the Zapruder film, the funeral with the horse-drawn casket type of thing, and with little JFK Jr. in the little outfit and saluting. That seemed to be playing on a loop throughout the whole 60s. That was fresh in everyone's memories all for the next decade. So I feel like I remember that day, but I don't, because I was only 3. But I saw so much footage that was pretty fresh still. It was just, it's like watching something that happened 2 years ago, right? 2 or 3 years ago. So I remember watching this footage. They would play it on news shows and programs on TV all the time. Especially, I guess, every time the anniversary came up, we would get this footage of the whole thing. They would play the Zapruder film on TV. They don't play that shit anymore, you know, but they would play it on TV. I remember watching the Zapruder film on TV. Regular broadcast news. We didn't have cable then. We didn't have all these cable channels. We certainly didn't have streaming. And I remember watching the Zapruder film on TV. That's why this shit, it seems like my memory, I feel like I was there in 63. I was alive in 63. I feel like I was, you know, aware of things on that day, but I really wasn't. It's just because all throughout the 60s, they would play the Zapruder film. They would play the funeral. They would play the whole thing over and over and over again, which I think was a good thing, not unlike today where we kind of like bury things like that. I think we need to know the shit that's going on. Because how many people today, they don't even know, you know, what's going on. They don't even know the ins and outs of things that are going on. So many people are so oblivious. It's crazy. Michael McAndrew says, I came home from kindergarten and my mom was crying and BWTV was going with news of JFK being shot. I guess black and white TV. Yeah, so you're a little bit older, so you remember it, but I don't remember that day at all. But I do remember it being played over and over and over again all through the 60s. So to me, it felt like the JFK assassination was like a fresh thing that had just happened because they just, you know, played it so much. Roxanne Arfield, yes, James Williams, that was heartbreaking. James Williams, my friends and I refer to that as the day Camelot died. Yeah, that's a famous kind of quote. I think like it might have been Cronkite or somebody might have said that. Nick Rich, it's 1968, MLK and RFK gone. Yeah, the 60s were crazy. I remember listening to MLK's speeches on the radio on KFI in California. I would listen to his speeches. And then all of a sudden we were driving, I was with my parents, we're in the car, and they're saying that Martin Luther King had been shot and killed. And it was just like, I was shocked. And I remember the night RFK Sr. was shot and killed. And I was at home. My parents, in those days, maybe this is why I feel like a Gen Xer, because I was sort of like a latchkey kid in a way. My parents went out bowling. They had a bowling night. And they just left me at home by myself. We were living up in Big Bear at the time. And I was just watching TV. And then the reports of Robert Kennedy being shot were all blasted on the TV. And I was just like, oh my God. And I knew who Robert Kennedy was. I knew who John Kennedy was. And I was like 8 years old at the time. And something's going on out there. But I was very aware, very, very cognizant of who these people were. And I knew that Robert Kennedy was running for president. And then he was shot and killed. Yeah, at first he was just saying he was shot. It took a while for them to come back on and say, yeah, Robert Kennedy has died. But it was shocking. It was, I don't know how to put it in words, but and it was scary. It was sad, and it was scary because I liked MLK and I liked RFK, and of course I liked JFK, and all of a sudden these people were being killed. Plus we had the daily body counts of U.S. soldiers being killed in Vietnam, and so you had all that going on. It was a very scary and very much of a turmoil going on, And then we had the protests and everything. It was very crazy, very, very wild. A bit, and I was a 7, 8, 9-year-old boy and taking it all in, Big Hook says, kooky Q maggots believe JFK Jr. is still alive. Is going to be Trump's vice president. It's crazy. Yeah, do they still believe that? Because I remember that from a few years ago, but they probably do still believe it, I guess. Keith Fleet, I remember the Vietnam War body count each night on the evening news. Yes, I just mentioned that. So Keith and I both remember that. I remember that it was like a daily thing. We'd be sitting down to dinner, watching the nightly news, and there you go. We've got the count. Minjay Daniel, I learned about fascism early on watching the doc series World at War on PBS. We need more programming like that. Nick Rich, November 1963, I was in 2nd grade. Yeah, I wasn't even... Oh, so you are a boomer, Nick. MJ Daniel, I remember watching a moon landing. I saw the moon landing. I was at home, I think, because we were in Big Bear and we had a split. They had like a split schedule, so like half the kids would go in early, like at 7 in the morning or 8 in the morning or something, and then the other one didn't start till like somewhere in the afternoon, like noon or something like that. I guess I had the afternoon session, and I think the moon landing was in the morning. Because I think I remember watching it with my mom in our living room, and my mom going, "This is amazing, John. What do you think of that? Look, they're on the moon, But I do remember going to school, and they had the TV set up in our classrooms, and they were still watching everything going on, I think. MJ Daniel, President Kennedy was killed just after my first birthday. Yeah, it was just after my 3rd birthday. My birthday's in October, and Kennedy was killed in November. Minus Kevin Anderson, my dad was in grade school when they blared that Kennedy was shot. Wow. Yeah, imagine that, you're in school and then that happens. Mad Max says, what the fuck? Just saw a Tramp video where it said unified... Oh yeah, holy shite. They are saying the Nazi Schweinhunds. Yeah, Mad Max. I haven't seen it, but we were talking about that earlier, and I had heard Stephanie Miller talking about it. And I haven't actually seen it myself. But, yeah, they're just... See, as I was saying, Trump is getting more and more desperate, so he's not going to run on like campaign issues, or he's not going to try and get the moderates or anything like that. He's just going for the rabid base, that rabid MAGA base that loves violence, and they love committing violence on the other, right? They like to see themselves as being better than everyone else and being the master race or whatever. That's who he's appealing to now. I mean, he always has, but now he's just, that's it. There's no trying to bring in a wider base. It's just all going to be MAGA, and it's all going to be Nazism and white supremacy from here on out. And the dog whistles are going to become more and more just plain speak. And it's not going to be long where he's going to be calling for violence just openly. There's not going to be any secret coded words. He's going to just start calling for it. Keith Police says Jim Jones, those born from 54 to 65 in the U.S. who were children during Watergate, the oil crisis, stagflation, rather than during the 1950s, but slightly before Gen X. Yeah, okay, I guess I'm a Jim Jones then. It's the first time I'm ever hearing of it. James Williams says, we had a draft dodger living in the basement. He bailed when the U.S. Army tried to send him back to Vietnam. He came to Canada instead. Great guy. He introduced me to Thai stick he had smuggled back. Interesting. Big Hooks says, one of my fondest memories was visiting the Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. Oh, yeah, I went there. I think it was 1989 or 90. Went to Washington, D.C., saw all the Smithsonian's, the Air and Space Museum, all of the Washington Mall, everything there, the monuments and everything. It was a great time. Great seeing that. I recommend everyone go there at least once. At least once. Go to your capital of your nation and go check out the Washington Mall. And I'm not talking about a shopping mall. Big Hook, Michael McAndrews, our whole country cried on that one. Nick Rich, piss on all things MAGA. Roxanne, Trump's not trying to hide it. Yeah, there's no hiding it. Because he's more and more desperate. And, they say the most dangerous animal is a desperate animal. No, what do they say? A cornered animal? And he's getting cornered. So watch out. Three Girls, Three Wheels. I believe the French were there before. Yes, there were French advisors. Absolutely, Three Girls. And then we had to get in there. And then that's part of the whole Pentagon Papers, right? Why we were there. Where it was beneficial to military contractors, right? Mad Mac, I was watching that convention live too. Oh. Which convention? The convention, RFK? That wasn't really a convention. That was a speech. I'm not sure what convention. Bad Mac, Sirhan Sirhan assassinated Bobby Kennedy. Yeah, it was Sirhan Sirhan. I know that. Yeah, he was doing a speech or something in LA at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles, which has since been torn down and I think turned into a high school. Walter Makarovich, my vote in November 2024 is to vote out MAGA. On local and state federal levels, there is no other choice in keeping the USA and world safe. I agree, and that just reminds me of here in Las Vegas, we have the mayoral race is going on, and they've got like 12 candidates, and I've got a couple that I'm kind of leaning towards, and mayoral races, I guess it's probably across the country. They're usually nonpartisan, meaning they don't put their party affiliations up. So you got to kind of guess who they lean towards or what party they might be in or whatever. But there is one candidate that I can definitely cross off the list, and her name is I forget now, but when I see it, I'll know it. I think it's Seaman, or no, that doesn't sound right, but like SEAMAN or Seamus or Seaman or something like that, whatever it is. And she is a Trumper. So I've definitely crossed her off my list. I'm probably leaning towards Shelley Berkeley for mayor, maybe. But we need to have a good mayor that isn't just kowtowing to the big, hotels, casino chains, and is really going to do something to help homeless people. Basically, we have a big homeless population here. We need to address that. But the thing about it is that most of the Strip is not even in the city of Las Vegas. They're in a. That's why they built the Strip where the Strip is, to be out of the Las Vegas city limits. So the mayor of Las Vegas is basically, in charge of downtown, and that needs to be cleaned up. It's a very trashy city. If you drive through here, you see a lot of trash. I'm talking about real trash. I didn't mean to talk about homeless people and talk about trash. Like, I'm not saying that they're the trash. Those are the people that need the help. But there's actually trash and debris flying around all over the place. Can we have a mayor that will clean that shit up at least? Anyhow, Mad Mac, Occupy Democrats had the video. Maintenance is going to be knocking on doors. I don't know. I might be getting a knock on my door pretty soon. I don't know what they're doing. Because usually they send out a notice, either through emails or texting or whatever, and sometimes they'll put a little letter on your door saying that maintenance is going to be doing something. But I didn't get anything. Mad Mac, I'm rocking 3 monitors on YouTube. Oh, look at you all monitored out. Roxanne Arfield, the only way to go, Walter Makarovich. Yes, is voting blue. Don't vote for MAGA. Don't vote for Republicans. Because right now, the Republican Party is MAGA. Michael McAndrews, yep, I had a bunch of good Thai stick. Yum. Keith Polite, is LA governable? I don't live in LA. I live in Las Vegas. But I would say yeah. Jackie says, Mad Mac, I can barely keep up on my phone. Laughing out loud. Michael McAndrews, stick of pot with tops wrapped by pot string dipped in opium. Wow, that sounds like a magic stick. Nick Rich says, I first tried Thai stick around 1978. I never had Thai stick. Mad Mac, laughing out loud, I normally have 2 going and 1 for work, but I'm slacking here for a bit right now. Nick Rich, it was only available from 1 source, didn't last long. Jackie says, laughing out loud, if I use the work computer, the feds will knock on my door, on my office door. And Mike, when I was 75, 78 is when I had some. I never had Thai stick. I feel as though I've been cheated. 3 Girls, 3 Rules says that JFK was murdered on my 6th birthday. So you remember it. You have a vivid memory of it. Or no, I don't know if it was vivid, but you have a memory of it. And I don't, because I had just turned 3. But like I say, it seems like I remember that day because of the footage it seemed like it was just on this loop all through the 60s. Kifley, will Biden win Nevada? You know what? I've seen that weird polling where it had Trump up. I'm going to do everything I can to see that Biden wins Nevada. I don't know, man. Nevada's kind of weird because there's really only 2 major population bases. Is that it? Bases? It's Clark County. That's right here in Nevada. Right here in Las Vegas. This Las Vegas Valley. which is like Henderson, and you've got Las Vegas and North Las Vegas, and you know the surrounding areas here. That's basically the major population of the whole state. And then up in Reno and Sparks and Carson Valley, that's the other big population base. And other than that, it's all tumbleweeds and rattlesnakes and a few ranchers maybe, and farmers, and just people who like to live out in the sticks. And I don't know, man. There's a lot of people here in Nevada and Clark County. I think there's more Democrats than Republicans, but I don't know. We'll see. It's a good question. I hope we vote for Biden. I'm voting for Biden. I hope the state will go to Biden. But that's a good question, Keith. So my call to Nevada voters: vote for Joe Biden. It's going to be Biden Harris. You got to vote for them, and vote blue all down the ticket, because we got to stay blue. We do have. Is it Jackie Rosen? I should know my senators. I believe it's Rosen who's up. Mastos. She's got a hyphenated name. As our other senator. You guys are going to think I'm a fraud because I can't even say my senators' names. Mastos. What's her name? I can't remember. It's a hyphenated. She won. She barely won in the last election. She barely won, but she did win. And now I believe Rosen is up on this one, and she might have been maybe not kind of even, or maybe, I'm not sure if she was behind in the polls. So we got to vote blue. You Nevada people out here, come on, you got to vote for Democrats. Our governor lost last election, and we got this fucking right-winger governor who actually seems somewhat reasonable, but still, I'd rather have a Democratic governor. So yeah, Nevada, vote blue, man. Come on, none of this fucking redneck bullshit. If you're just know that if Nevada, if you're voting for a Republican, you're voting for a redneck fucking racist pig, probably. Just remember that. Trucker John's, you can put that on your blurb. Trucker John says if you vote for Republicans in Nevada, you're voting for, what did I say? Right-wing racist pigs. And you could probably say that in just about anywhere you vote for a Republican. Basically, right-wing racist pigs. Roxanne, customs were not as strict back then, Michael McAndrews. Oh, about getting the Thai stick into America? I don't know. I guess so. I guess we're just guessing at this point. Keith Philippe, the power of Dark Brandon be with you. Yeah. Hey, we're just over 2 hour mark here, by the way. Keith Philippe, I read that. Michael McAndrews says, keep standing with the light side. MJ Daniels, I feel lucky to remember my own name sometimes these days. Michael McAndrews, getting there myself, MJ. Wow, guys. I can remember my name because it says right there. It says Trucker John. So that's how I remember my name. Is by looking at the screen. Let's see, do I have any other memes I can put up that I haven't already put up? Let's see. I think I didn't really add anything new, I don't think. Did I put this douchebag up? About Mike Johnson? What a little douchebag he is? About how he felt it was more important to do the bidding of Trump. You know, he felt it was more important to leave the Congress and conduct the business of the Congress, the business of the people, and so he had to go basically shill for Trump. And here's what the thing says. Now, this was a posting by this person here. I got this off Threads, I think. So that was a post by Earl Stevens. And it says, incredible. Instead of doing the job we pay him to do, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is in attendance today, and this is from a few days ago, for the trial of a civilly liable rapist. That's what Donald Trump is. And a repeat adulterer who brags of assaulting women. Remember, grab him by the pussy, in case you didn't remember that. Because you know, he gets off on this disgusting abuse of women. So there's Mike Johnson, a little picture of little Mikey. Folks, we got to vote these motherfuckers out. We got to vote blue, get the blue in there, get the Democrats in there. Because these Republicans aren't worth a shit. They are not worth one fucking shit. We need to get them out. So Nevada, please vote blue. Is there any? If anyone from Nevada hears this, here's my voice. We do not need more right-wing racist pigs representing us. And when you vote for a Republican, that's who you're voting for. And my message doesn't just go out to Nevada. It goes out everywhere. Arizona, Texas, Florida, you name it. When you vote for a Republican, you're really voting anti-American. They're not for America. They're not for the Constitution. They say all this shit about being constitutional republic and all this kind of bullshit. They don't give a shit about the Constitution. They misread it, misinterpret it. They cherry pick sentences out of amendments and then disregard the rest. Row-vember. Row, row, row your boat gently down to the voting polls. Maybe the Supreme Court's overturning Roe v. Wade might be a big blessing in disguise. Because I think there's a lot of people, a lot of women especially, and men who love women, which I include myself as one, chomping at the bit to go in and vote this Rovember. I think that is going to be the issue that drives people, the big issue that's going to drive people to the polls in November. So the polls that we see, you know, I'm not sure how accurate they are, how reliable they are. The only real poll that ever matters is the election day voting poll. So fingers crossed. I hope this Rovember thing is true. I hope it really does materialize. And I think we've seen special elections along the way. We've seen, of course, the midterms. It was supposed to be a big red wave, and it was just a little red, little dribble. I mean, they barely got anything. And we've seen these other elections since then where Democrats that don't normally win in these certain places have been winning. We've seen some big wins. So hopefully those are all indicators of November being this big blue wave. A big, giant, humongous blue wave. And that's what we got to do. We got to vote. We got to bring people who are going to vote Democrats with us. If you have Republican friends, just tell them that that's a good day for them just to go golfing or whatever. I know a lot of places have early voting and stuff like that, mail-in voting. Just, don't even talk about the elections with them because they don't need to be voting. But if you have Democrats and maybe for whatever reason they don't always vote, then bring them with you. Bring them with you. Save democracy, vote blue because enough of the bullshit. There you go. I like that one. I definitely like that one. I'm just trying to see if I can, I don't know why sometimes I can slide it around and other times I can't slide it around. There we go. Let's see. Let's just put that over there, I guess. Vote blue. Because enough of this bullshit already. We do need to save democracy. Because like I said, as Trump gets more and more desperate and he gets closer and closer to the election, and he's losing court cases, and he's looking at jail time, and he's looking at fines, and he's looking at losing, he's going to start calling just straight out for violence. And if he gets into office, he's going to take over. He'll do whatever he can to get Congress to capitulate to him. It's going to be hell. If Trump gets back in office, it will be hell. And I'm not overstating that, I don't think. And I've heard other people say, don't worry, we'll survive it. We might survive it, but it's going to be bloody. It's going to be bloody. And quite frankly, I'm too old. If I was in my 20s or 30s, I'd say bring it on, motherfuckers. But I'm too fucking old. I can barely raise this shoulder. I can barely raise my shoulder. I cannot throw a punch. I can barely hold a gun. But it's going to get bloody if Trump gets into office. There will be, I believe, a bloody takeover to destroy democracy and to make this into a dictatorship. And he will start by doing whatever he can to get rid of the non-supporters. It could get really ugly. That's all I'm saying. So vote blue if you want to save democracy. And if you want to save this country. Robert Perez is here. Hey, good to see Robert Perez. Top of the morning to you, driver. Top of the morning to you. Robert Perez moving to El Cajon, San Diego, so I'm watching, just busy to write. Too busy to write. Hey, well, I'm glad you just popped in long enough to say hi. And yeah, moving can be a bitch. Moving is a busy lot of work there. So I don't envy you that, but I do envy you going to El Cajon near San Diego because that's a beautiful area. Beautiful part of the country. Some of the best weather in the country is in the San Diego area, like year round. It's great there. Walter McCarovich says, what I can't understand, Trucker John, Congress has had almost 3 full years to charge, is it U.S. senators, U.S. House of Representatives that we know were involved in January 6th, and nothing has happened. It's frustrating. It is frustrating. But when you have filibusters in the Senate and you have Republicans with the majority, slim though it may be, then you're going to see obstruction. You're going to see things not happen. That's why we need to vote blue. We need those numbers. We need to do away with the filibuster. Let the chips fall where they may. Get rid of the filibuster. We need to take the House and get the leadership back. And and the filibuster thing is if we can keep the Senate. But when you have Joe Manchin's and Kirsten Sinema's and you have a filibuster, and then you have a House where you've got Republican leadership, those things get quashed. So yeah, it's frustrating. But that's why we need the numbers. We need the big blue wave. We need the big giant blue wave. Let's see. Vicky Gingras is here. Hi TJ. Hello everyone. Hello Vicky. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share button for me if you would. I would love that. We're at 49 thumbs ups. Would love to hit the big 5-0 and share the show out so maybe more people can watch and we can get involved in these little talks that we do. This is actually supposed to be Tuesday Talk with Trucker John, but the stupid title didn't come out. So it just says live streaming of Trucker John. But this is Tuesday Talk with Trucker John, goddammit. So let's share the show and let's let it grow. As Nick Rich might say. Vicky Green says, my name is different on my new phone. I guess it's Vicky Accardi. Hello, Vicky Accardi. I know Vicky Accardi. Big Hook says, your vote will either help the many or the few rich assholes that don't need any more help or money. Yeah. If you vote blue, you'll help the many. Not many, but many. And if you vote red meaning Republican, you are helping mainly the top 1% that don't really need the help. Like, so just a clarification there about who you should vote for. Vote blue no matter who, if you know what's good for you. Mad Max says, the Nazi Party is going to cheat their asses off. We have to stop thinking that just voting will do something. We need to keep them from gerrymandering and fucking up districts and other sneaky shit. That's for sure. The gerrymandering thing is gerrymandering and voter suppression tactics, reducing the number of polling places, doing away with mail-in voting and early voting, knocking people off the voting rolls that should be on the voting rolls. All of those things, yes, need to be attacked. I don't need to be countered. So that reminds me to tell you all, go to vote.org, check your voters registration status. I get notices. I have a great thing. They just sent me from the state registrar's office because I'm signed up to get notifications. And they sent me saying, "Hey, we've sent you your ballot. It's on the way, or whatever." So just stay involved and know your status. Know your voter status. Make sure you're registered and do it early enough so that if you're not, for some reason, you can get registered and be able to vote in November. Don't let their voter suppression tactics work. We need to counter those. And yeah, we need to fix gerrymandering. And we need to get districts that are set up by nonpartisan groups. And where it goes through a council or whatever, and it's looked at and it's deemed that it's set up on fairness and not on trying to favor one party over the other or whatever. Mad Max says, you will be able to punch and hold a gun if your life was on the line. Yeah, that's true, Mad Max. Adrenaline is a powerful thing. You got that right. Rick says, sounds like incitement with some excitement. Roxanne says, not sure. Michael Andrews. Steven Sayers is here. Hey, Steve, good to see you. Missouri Federal Senator Lucas Kunz, 2024. I think Lucas was he on Nicole Sandler or some show that they were interviewing him? And he sounded like a very, very good candidate from what I remember. It's been a while, but I think Nicole may have had him on her show. So, yeah, for sure, Lucas Kuntz, I think, was a good one. Thanks, Stephen, for bringing that up. Michael McAndrews says, actually got to stop the gun nuts, so I stay away from promoting that kind of thing. I'd stop the Nazis, though, no problem there. Well, I'm just saying that I think it's Donald Trump has no hesitation or aversion to inciting violence to the point of it getting into some sort of shooting war. But I think we would be knocked down relatively, maybe quickly, if we had to bring in National Guard or whatever. But it's going to it could be very bloody, you know, and you just never know how things are going to go. I know that people will say, you know, well, I guess I shouldn't. I don't want to go too far down that road. But all I'm saying is it could get very dangerous and scary and violent, and that Donald Trump is not. As he gets more and more desperate and sees the writing on the wall and sees that he's losing these court cases, these felonies, he's going to get more and more desperate, and it will no longer be dog whistles. It will be straight out call for violence. So just watch out. Just be careful. That's all I got to say. James Williams says, I remember when the RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, would stop me and search the truck for alcohol and ignore the lid of weed on the dash. The Nancy said, just say no, and the war started. Nancy Reagan, just say no. Roxanne Arfield says, getting rid of gerrymandering is essential. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely, Roxanne. Keith Lee says Lucas Kuntz can beat Josh Hawley. Josh Hawley, I mean, you talk about I don't know if I should even say it. I don't know what I should say about that guy, but what a little he's just he's such a hypocrite. I don't know. I mean, he does the thing like you know, puts the fist up, you know, like, yeah, I'm right behind you, or whatever, and then we see him skadoodling out, you know. So James Williams says it was nice to see Biden deschedule cannabis. Absolutely. And that's a big fucking deal. And I was watching Cenk Uygur a few days ago on, I guess it was Don Lemon's show. He has a show now on YouTube. And of course, for Cenk Uygur, that was not good enough. Nothing's ever good enough for that motherfucker. But when you see that for decades and decades and decades, nothing's been done about it, and then Biden comes in and does something about it, I think that's a pretty big fucking deal. You know? Maybe it wouldn't be such a big fucking deal if the people like Cenk Uygur wouldn't be always promoting these purity tests. And then people like Hillary Clinton don't get elected because they don't meet his purity test. And maybe this is going a little bit before TYT, but the mentality is the same. Maybe that holds true for Al Gore. Maybe that holds true for Jimmy Carter. Maybe that holds true for LBJ. if we didn't have these fucking purity tests where just because a candidate isn't 100% pure as the driven snow, then what? You're going to vote for some Republican who certainly isn't pure? Or you're not going to vote at all and you're going to allow the Republican to win? It's because of that type of mindset, this Cenk Uygur mindset, that nothing's ever good enough and it has to be the whole shebang or nothing. That's how we end up with Richard Nixon's. That's how we end up with fucking Ronald Reagan's. That's how we end up with Donald Trump's. Thank you very much, Cenk Uygur. You fucking piece of shit. Talk about adrenaline. I may be old and I can't raise my arm, but if Cenk Uygur was right here in front of me, I'd punch his fucking face in. We don't need you fucking left-wing extremists with your magic wand fucking mentality. Oh, Obama wasn't good enough because he came in and they just expect him to wave these magic wands and get everything changed to the way, like that, to just the way they wanted it. Fuck you, Cenk Uygur, you fucking piece of shit. Mad Max says Mississippi is doing some sneaky shit right now that can affect a lot of other states. Yeah, Mississippi is one of those things. Hey, Vicky Gingras, formerly known as Vicky Accardi, is a member. Thank you so much, Vicky. Awesome. Yay, got a new member. Thank you so much. Welcome to Driver. Now I'm still figuring out this whole thing, this membership stuff. And I guess I gotta think of ways to give the members something special or do something special. I've been remiss to do that. I gotta figure stuff out. I don't know if I could do like special live streams that would be just for members or what, but we'll figure something out. Because we do have quite a bit of members now. Got a handful. And I need to do something a little bit special for you guys. So I'll figure something out. I don't know if it's maybe just a beefcake shot of me. No, you don't want to see that. There's no beefcake. There's a lot of cake and there's no beef. But I don't know. We'll figure something out for the members. But thank you so much. That's awesome, Vicky. Big Hook says Holly is a libertarian asshole with white Christian nationalist beliefs. There you go. I like that, Big Hook. You've been right. You've been pretty much spot on all day with just pithy, to the point. Well, some of them are a little wordy, and you don't like to use periods, I noticed. But other than that, you've been right on. Vicky Grigres says Roxanne, I think he knows we have a lot to get rid of gerrymandering, just looking for an opportunity. Steven Sayre says Holly is fake. He doesn't stand with us. J6 proved that when he held suicide in support of insurrection. Yeah, he is. He's one of those ones people say, why aren't people being investigated? And yeah, there's a bunch of these Congress people that are in Congress right now that were insurrectionists, and they need to be gone. And if the Congress can't get rid of them, then you, the voters, need to get rid of them. Even if you vote another Republican in, you need to primary them or they should be locked up. It used to be an insurrectionist was like being a traitor, and a traitor, they used to, oops. I'm knocking the shit over now. Oh, great. Now oh boy. What did I do? Now we got a little, I'm not going to touch it, but I kind of knocked the table around a little bit. I was getting all riled up. And I hit the table, and now you can see a little bit of, I think is it over here? Wait, no, it's over here. Everything's backwards. Yeah, now you can see a little bit of a wrinkle with that. Well, so anyhow, but yeah, so I'm getting riled up. You guys are getting me riled up. James Williams says, Holly is a coward. The footage on Gen 6 tells you everything you need to know. Yeah, so remember that little skedoodle? He's like, I'm just going to skedaddle on out of here. You guys carry on with your Jan 6 insurrection. I'll be over here in Missouri or wherever the fuck he went. Vicky Gingras says, Roxanne, we're going to keep that Senate and add the House. I hope so, Vicky. I hope so. From your lips to God's ears. I really hope we keep the Senate. Some people are saying that it's, I don't know. I think we'll get the House back. But it kind of sucks. Like, we get the Senate, we lose the House. Then we get the House, we lose the Senate. Can't we just all get along here? And can't we get the trifecta? Steven Sayers, PAB? What is that? Oh, well, we know what that is. So who called who a PAB? A PAB? I must have skipped something. Well, I don't know what I skipped, but I think we could say Josh Hawley is a PAB. Oh, Mad Max says Josh Hawley is a little PAB, which is a pussy-ass bitch. James Williams says, thank God there weren't any elderly women or children blocking his escape. Yeah, he would have just plowed right through him. He's like the guys on the Titanic that were putting on women's dresses or whatever, or pushing people out of the way to get the life jackets and get on the lifeboats. Vicky Gunter so agree on the insurrectionists. Roxanne says, Vicky, I pray that happens, and I'm not even religious. Yeah, these damn maggots and J6ers and these they're making atheists pray. That's how bad things are. Steve Sayers says Missouri is red currently. We're going to change that. Hey, Steve, I hope so. I mean, am I crazy? Am I misremembering? Because I thought there was a time when places like Ohio and Missouri were Democrat. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know. What the fuck happened, people? I guess Reagan is what happened and a lot of that shit. Steve Sayers says Costanza yelling fire. Would that be George Costanza? Good old George Costanza. Someone said hi, Rick. Did I miss Rick? Did I not say hi to Rick? I don't think I said hi to Rick, but I don't see Rick. How long ago did Rick come on here? Because I'm scrolling and I don't see Rick. But sometimes I just miss stuff. Well, if there's a Rick in here, hi Rick. Maybe there was a Rick at the very beginning, and Pisces Greeter, Hugger Greeter, is going all the way to the back or something. I don't know, and I forgot who that is. Big Hook says above Mad Mac. Oh, above Mad Mac. Okay, let me look at Mad Mac. Let's see. Am I on all messages? I am on all messages. I see Big Hook, Big Hook. I see Michael McAndrews. Oh, there's Rick. Oh, I read Rick's. Sounds like incitement with some incitement. Oh, yeah, I read that. But was that the first time Rick posted? And I didn't say hi? Well, hello, Rick. I remember reading your post, though, because it rhymed. Sounds like incitement with some excitement. But hey, all right. Mystery solved. All right, guys, so here we are in 2.5 hours. I guess we keep on going all the way till the Randy Rhoads show in about another half an hour. Or I could call it quits and relieve you guys of this torture of hanging out here, but I do have some things I got to do. Got some stuff I got to do, and my iPad is down to 29%. And I don't know what the iPhone is at. I have it plugged in, but I can't see the charge on it. When I do this live stream, I can't see the meter or whatever you call it, the power meter. But hey, but I feel like, oh God, I feel like I need to just move this a little bit. But I'm gonna screw it up. Look, I already screwed it up. Look at there. Wait. Well, there's that. That's a little bit better. Let's see. Let's see how it looks on the iPad. Oh yeah, that's much better. See, all it takes is just a little tiny movement, and the whole thing gets screwed up. You know? It just, it's amazing. It is amazing. But let's see here. Michael Myers, love the show, John. I'll see you later. Oh, you heading out? All right, Mike. Well, thanks for being here. I'll probably be quitting pretty soon. I mean, I could drag this out for another 30 minutes. Take us into the Randy Rhoads show. I think, she's on today. I don't think she's got a day off or whatever. Roxanne says, up to you, big guy. Vicky says, bye, Michael. Mad Max says, I missed it, Hook. But Michael, thanks for being here. I do appreciate you hanging out with us each and every time. And I will see you again on Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thursdays when we do a double dip of Chucker John. We do a 9 a.m. Pacific time and a 3 p.m. Pacific time, where we do a 1 hour, just a little lead in, basically, to the House Sparks show. It's just, I like to call it a House Sparks hangout. I was calling it the pre-show warm-up. I think I'm just going to call them hangouts from now on. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I call it the House Sparks pre-show warm-up? Or should I call it just the House Sparks pre-show hangout? Because it's kind of a hangout. Because we're used to coming on at 3, right, to see Hal. And but on Thursdays he comes on at 4 Pacific time. And so I'll do a little hangout show, whatever I call it. Just no, it's just for us to kind of hang out and get ready for the show, to get ready to jump on over there to the House Sparks show. But that's not till Thursday. Now, today's Tuesday, so yeah, I probably won't be on again until Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Well, we'll do another Trucker John talk. Another Talking with Trucker John. That's what this show was supposed to be called. I'll probably change it when I can edit it. I don't think I can edit it now. Maybe I could edit it now. But it was supposed to be, it's supposed to be Talking with Trucker John or something like that. I don't know. Let's see, can I edit it? Let's see if I can edit it. I don't think I can. Because it's currently playing. So I don't think it lets me edit. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't let me edit the name. For some reason. I don't think, unless I go over here. No, I can't do that. What's this? I could create a clip. But, oof, what did I do? Somebody's yelling. Anyhow, we'll just leave it at live streaming of Trucker John. But I probably will change that title to Tuesday Talk with Trucker John, which is what it was supposed to be. Big Hug says Gremlins in the hardware. Well, see, what I did is in this app here, this Prism app that I'm using, if I put that in the like upcoming mode, I had the title in there. But then for some reason, when I went ahead and pushed it and went live, it didn't put the title in it. Now I think over on Twitch, And on Facebook, I think it did get the title in there correctly. Let me check. Let's check and see. So, Twitch is weird. I still haven't been able to figure out Twitch, actually, because I'm trying to find my channel. It should just automatically go to my channel. But I can't see my channel. And it seems like they've changed it or something. It seems like they've changed the format. Oh, then I got to go here. It's a really big deal, just to try to get to my channel. Now on Twitch, it says Tuesday Talk with Trucker John, 5/21/24. That was supposed to be the title on YouTube, but for some reason it changed it to just the live stream of Trucker John. I have one viewer over there on Twitch, it looks like, and that might be me. I don't know. Spooky was here a while ago. I don't know if Spooky is still here, but Spooky, if you are there still, hello over there in Twitch world. I'm gonna say hi. I'll just say hi. And so there's that. There's that. Okay, so there's Twitch. Now let's see what else we got going on in Facebook. Because it also streams to Facebook. Let's see what title I got on Facebook. I think Facebook is formatted weird too. I don't know. So here I am on Facebook. It says John Fowler is live now. There's 2 comments. I don't see the title. Wes Webb says I'm here busy. So Wes Webb is over on Facebook. Didn't see him on YouTube today. He says I'm getting ready to take a break. Listened while, well, shoot. And then Facebook, the chat disappears, which bugs me. Why is it disappearing? And now I think it froze. And now it's hard to read the chat. It says, listen to while, still have. It says, you still have me blocked? Wait. Listened for a while. I wish the chat would just stay on. I don't know why. These folks that are formatting these things, they're idiots. Just leave the chat on so I can read it. Or make it so that I can see it. I can barely see it. But anyhow, not in the mood for blamers and bashers, pettiness, blah, blah, blah. It's just basically Wes Webb bullshit. He's all butthurt because he doesn't like Republicans being called names, and they deserve name calling. Although I do agree that you do. But it does. Here's the title. It says Tuesday Talk with Trucker John, 5/21/24. So the title went correctly out on Facebook and on Twitch, but on YouTube it didn't. I don't know why. I don't know why it didn't. But anyhow, so Wes Webb is over there. He was over there on Facebook crying about shit. But I do agree, though, that you do probably catch more flies with honey, I guess. That's the expression, right? And if you do just constantly say, you know, you're stupid, the people, they just get defensive. They're just going to get defensive and really just shut down the argument or shut down the conversation. So I do think that Wes has a point there about if you're trying to engage anyone, I guess, who has a different argument than you or a different point of view or different policy ideas or different political ideologies, and all you're saying is, hey, you're stupid, that doesn't get you too far. So yeah, there's you know, I do agree to that to an extent. But hey, we're just here hanging out, so you know, I'm not sure if we're trying to win anybody over in this chat, because I think most of us are all Democrats anyhow, or at least lean that way or vote that way, and many times. So you know, is Gino Maynard here? Did I miss someone saying hi to Gino? Let's see, I must have missed that. Oh, Gino Maynard, greetings everyone. There it is. Hello, Gino Maynard. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. We're just shooting the shit, probably just for another 15 minutes or so, and then we'll go on over. I'll see you guys at the Randy Rhodes chat room. Steve Sayers says impeach Alito. Alito and Thomas need to go, as does really all of the, you know, Kavanaugh and Gorsuch and Amy Coney Barrett. They all need to go. And well, I mean, I don't like Roberts, but I'm not sure, you know, if you could impeach him. I'm not sure if he's done anything wrong other than just being a Republican. But I mean, Gorsuch and Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett, they shouldn't even have been on there. You know, they shouldn't even have been approved, especially Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett. That those should have been Obama's picks, right? They're illegitimate in my eyes. Big Hook says, YouTube is your jam, John. Don't mess with the sandwich. Yeah, well, I'm going to edit that title, because that was supposed to be Tuesday Talk with Trucker John, 5/21/24. And I don't know why that didn't come out. Mad Max, Shooting the Breeze with Trucker John. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of a good title, Shooting the Breeze. We're just shooting the breeze. Promoting Democratic Party. Unabashedly, unashamedly, without reserve. I'm a lifelong Democrat, and I will support the Democratic Party. I know it's not perfect. I know we're without blemish. I know sometimes we have candidates or elected representatives that do some stupid shit, and they're usually gone, and then we get rid of them. You know, by either they go to jail, and we have them step down, and we put new people in. Unlike the Republican Party, that seems to either deny and just keep the same dirtbags in there. Mad Mac, yeah, it's got a good ring to it. Shooting the breeze. How about shooting the shit? Big Hook, if the criticisms are legitimate, you can't defend your position. Perhaps you need to rethink your position. Yeah, and there's a difference between criticizing and just saying you're stupid, which I fall into that, you know. But if you're going to bring the criticism, then bring the criticism, but be specific, I guess. Steve Sear says, are Brett and Amy even qualified? I don't think so. Far from it. And if we can't get Alito and Thomas to step down, which they should, and if we can't get some sort of impeachment process, you know, going, like I said, we would have to have the numbers to do that. And we also would need the numbers to expand the court. Because the other thing is expanding the court, adding a couple justices, and while Obama's president, but Biden's president, and getting Biden picks in there. Roxanne, excellent question, Steve Sayers. Roxanne says Alito and Thomas are criminals. They are definitely taking bribes. And I think Alito was definitely working with the Jan 6ers. Certainly was sympathetic to them. And was ready to sign over some sort of, on January 6th, some sort of, injunction or something to halt the proceedings. But Nancy Pelosi was able to beat him to the punch and get, reconvene Congress and get the, the handing over of the presidency to Biden in time. So for sure, Alito is a criminal, from an insurrectionist. They're both criminals in that they've both taken bribes. That's for sure. James Williams says the only thing you have to do is vote in November. That's it. That's all you have to do. Well, maybe there's more than that, but yeah, that's the main thing. That's our biggest. We as individual citizens, our most powerful tool or thing that we can do is voting. So don't take it for granted. Don't let it go to waste. There are people in other countries that would love to have that right. And there have been who knows how many millions of people that have died for that right in this country altogether, all our wars and everything. Dying for the right to have voting. And think of how long it took to get women to vote, and how long it took to get, people of color and black people to be able to vote. I mean, it hasn't always just been everybody, but now I think we can safely say that every U.S. citizen has a right to vote, and there shouldn't be gerrymandering. There shouldn't be, Jim Crow and all this kind of stuff. It should be free and fair and easily accessible. It shouldn't be, a lot of hoops to jump through. I mean, if you're a U.S. citizen and you're 18 or over, that's it. You should be allowed to vote. So don't waste it. Yeah, like who was saying that? Well, all you guys are saying to vote. So yeah, but Keith Polite, expand the court. Well, yeah, and we would need to have the numbers in Congress in order to do that. So that all comes back. It all comes back to voting. Everything we want to do, it all comes back to voting, getting the numbers we need in Congress, of course, having the White House, to have the president sign it, and also spending a little time putting pressure on our elected representatives, sending a card or making a phone call and saying, hey, I'm all for expanding the court or whatever, James Williams says, that was James Williams. Yeah, it's talking about voting. Yeah. Steve Sayers, vote blue. Big Hook says Brent was part of the Clinton impeachment lawyers. Oh, Kavanaugh. Coney Barrett has little or no qualifications other than being Catholic adjacent and profile who wouldn't answer the real questions. Completely unqualified. And, thank you, Mitch McConnell. We great part, we have Mitch McConnell to thank. And Kentucky, what the fuck? But, it's Kentucky, I guess. Can we turn some of these states at least purple? Come on, Kentucky. What's with fucking Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul? Can you think of two more douchier people? mean, you probably could. You know, Ted Cruz comes to mind, but you know, but shit, people, come on, Kentucky, you can do better than that, can't you? Can't you? I mean, you got the Kentucky Derby and you got whiskey. Why do you gotta send such two douchebags to Congress? And it probably all comes down to taxes because they think that they're in a tax bracket that they would lower their taxes for or something. James Willis says, what was the population when the court was capped at 12? Yeah, I don't know, but it was much smaller than it is now. That's for sure. Roxanne Armfield says the Supreme Court has to have some oversight. Yes, they need oversight. They need, you know, ethics and rules. Keith Polite, GOTV. I don't know what that means. Gina Maynard, most prisoners can't vote. Okay, well, if you're a prisoner, I guess I'll give you a break. James Williams says, the question is about overreach. Remember Gore? I do remember Gore. I'm not sure what you're talking about with the overreach. Are you talking about the Supreme Court overreach? Yes. Yeah, that was definitely overreach. They just appointed W. They stopped the count. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Steven Sayre says, all my grandkids know not to come around me with any of that right-wing crap. Yeah. Grandpa's going to get cranky. Vicky Greengrass says, Gingras? Is it Gingras? Like a G? Is the G like a J or is the G like a G? Roxanne, I agree. A decent set of rules too. Steve Sayre says, what happened to ethics in politics? Well, when it comes to Republicans, apparently has gone the way of the dodo. Keith Polite says, Rovember. Oh, get out the vote. Thank you. Yes, get out the vote. I should have done that. But thank you, Keith Polite. Yeah, Rovember. I'm just hoping and praying and crossing my fingers for Rovember to be the big thing that I think it's going to be. We should just overwhelm them at the ballot box. You know, vote blue as though you're... I was trying to think of a rhyme with uterus, but that just isn't there. It's just not coming to me. But Vicky Gingras, like a J. Okay. Vicky Gingras. No. Vicky Gingras. Or Bacardi, apparently. Bacardi rhymes with Bacardi, by the way. Gina Maynard says, Jeb stripped the recounts for his dumber brother. Yeah, he had that state, was it the state AG or state secretary of state or whatever? What was her name? Clearly, you know, Republican, working for the Republicans. The fix was in Florida. James Williams says, lots of interesting perspectives. See you later. Life is calling. Be good. Hey, James, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I'm going to be signing off here in a couple minutes. So you almost made it to the end. Yeah, we're going to go off in about 1 or 2 minutes here. Randy Rhoads is coming up. I know you guys, a lot of you guys like to go watch Randy, as do I. Yeah, stop the count. Strip the count. You know, it had sort of the same connotation, you know. Roxanne Armfield says, yes, Vicky, right now they have no rules to follow. I know, they think that they are just, the SCOTUS, they think they are just in this rarefied air, and they are untouchable. And they're not. They shouldn't be, anyhow. Steve Sayre says, scientists are trying to bring the dodo back. Well, there you go. Steve Sayre says, Big Hook says, ethics rules on paper but no enforcement mechanisms. Honor code bullshit that only Democratic judges adhere to. Yeah, we need something that is enforceable. That's for sure. Keith Lee, Jen Jones signing off. Jen Jones, yes, Jen Joners unite. Apparently, I'm a Jen Joner. I never knew that before. Should I do this way or this way? No, I don't know. But Jen Jones, because I've never really felt like a boomer, and I really was never a Gen Xer, and I've always felt I've sort of felt, like not a part of a group. I didn't have a group, but now I do. I got Jen Jones, not to be confused with Jim Jones. I don't want to be a part of the Jim Jones group. No, but the Jen Jones, I could go for that. I'm all in. All right, guys. Hey, 14 watch, 52 thumbs up, like, subscribe, share. We got Vicky Gendris, or Vicky Accardi, Rise with Bacardi, new member. Thank you so much, Vicky. Appreciate it. I will try to do something for the members. I don't know, but I'll figure that out. I'll probably see you over there at Randy Rhodes in just a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get something going over here. Let's take that off and let's do where is it, guys? Where's my outro? Where is my outro when I need my outro? I need an outro. Let's get rid of that. I think we're just doing... What am I doing? Are we doing this one? All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. I'll see you Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So I style of Easter, baby. Show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win. Right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. It's time to say goodnight. The show has come to an end. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully. Nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes. But if we did, I'd be on the too. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant. But I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stopped a truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. But with this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream, this is where